freedom. Freedom is not an end unto itself. It's a means to an end. That's why they say freedom without responsibility is wrong, even catastrophic. See, the youth, we must realize that the freedom we have is for something bigger. Because the way I see it, we're still under colonialism, neo-colonialism. It's just that the masks have changed from white to black, and we're still standing on each other's backs instead of standing for each other. The youth, we are at a very pivotal phase in our history.
The commemoration of the International Day of Democracy is in recognition of the democratic gains that have taken place in countries across the world. For us in Kenya, this gives us an opportunity to take stock of these democratic gains which have culminated in the adoption of a new constitution which sets the framework for the realization of democratic principles in this country. None of us should have any doubt that young people are eager to be part of national development and to make constructive contributions to society.
Every day is a brand new day. Every time that
all this right here on your official Sheng station, Get a Radio 89.5 FM. Linda with you on Niaje Niaje.
Yes,
If Sheng is the best way to communicate to the youth, how about to use it to inform them, entertain them, and educate them?
Basically, tulikam tukaintroduce Nairobi, tukaambia tribe yetu ni Sheng. Unacheki? Unaweza kwa Msap, unaweza kwa Mjack, unaweza kwa Mluya, unaweza kwa Mdigo, lakini tribe yetu ni Sheng juu. Ukivibe na Sheng, mimi nda feel kama ni brother yangu.
The youth are like, it's like a baby. The way you, what you talk, you speak, how you speak, and the way unabonga na ata copy. As the youth and as the role models, we also need to walk the talk. So it's about us first checking ourselves in and out and ensuring that the youth out there first wanna copy the best side of us and not just anything.
Kijana mtaani hawezi afford kubuy paper. Ama ana time ya hata kucheki headlines pale kwa venda akienda wax. Lakini ana time ya jua kuna phone anaweza sikiza Get Radio through headset.
The youth wanna play a big role hapa hivi world yetu kabisa. Egypt revolution ilianzishwa na kina nani? The youth. Na the youth whether wanna behave negatively ama positively, it's how you treat them. Kuna msee amenitumia tweet ananiuliza aje, Miss Linda, tell me why do you like Giuliani? And this is why I like him. This guy has the youth in mind, lyric-wise, action-wise, and I have never heard anything negative about him. He is the youth himself. Giuliani with Basha ya Ocampo ikicheza Get Radio 89.5 FM.
kuna speaker ndio jue vitu ziko wrong, pedestrians wanapisha gari kupita kwa zebra cross.
Music yangu I don't think ina advocate ile kitu inadu ina speak ile kitu mean observations ile mimi niko nazo kwa mtaa, wala sana headline news ni politicians, so mimi na report to creatively, but now critically since mimi ni citizen na niko na part yangu ya kuplay as a citizen of Kenya na engage. Mimi niko na platforms that natumia kufanya hivyo. Niko na university tour, tunaenda university for the last from February mpaka June tulifanya university tour every week. We get university students waongee tu, una create space for them kuongea. As much as unaweza piga kelele na ujimwagie unga kwa street, bado policy lazima ichange, na policies zinadetermine direction ya country. I want a piece of your ear kama Mike Tyson. Kucheza rough haimaanishi wewe ni mtough, tolewa kaa nywele ya Samson. Kura kupiga ni kuchafua tu, pinky finger na ink ya blue. Hizi vidole zimekonda kwa njaa, zitastrangle shingo zimenona kwa kunyakua. Hata hama inatumia petroli kaa tuk-tuk. Nini special kuwahusu? Chacha ina cha kuoffer isipokuwa kikapu. Offering judiciary ni scarecrow, inatisha lakini haiwezi uma. Wanasiasa drooling for power, wengine full of it crumbs hata hawezi gawa.
Leaders being the representative, they are actually a representative of who we are. They are the cream, we are the milk. People get the leader they deserve. Yes. The leadership we have is what we actually deserve. That they are corrupt means we are corrupt. Yeah. That is one thing we have to accept as the people of this nation. When you talk about development, the buck stops right with you. When you talk about corruption, it stops with you. Good governance stops with you.
For me, when I think about this country and a free and fair democratic society for all, it's a country where there's equality for all, that none of us is discriminated, whether I am a woman, whether I am a young person, whether I am a person with disability, whether I am blind, or whatever attributes I have as a human being, I should ensure that there is equality for me.
Prior to the new constitution, there were just different laws that were not harmonized. But you see now with the new constitution and the Bill of Rights and the ratification of the United Nations Conventions of PWD, that's Persons with Disability, which has been ratified by the government. It seems now there's a movement or some cognizant of the law that's in place, which means that now issues of persons with disability, especially to do with leadership and governance and positions in workplaces, are being addressed. There's still a lot of work to be done, because you see, like, these efforts are mainly concentrated in the urban centers.
There are two factors that are working for or against me. I'm a woman and I'm young. So when people meet me, they say, "You're so young, how can you be an MD for Sinovate?" And what people forget is that quite a number of the current politicians right now have gotten into positions of responsibility when they were very young. Did you know that Kibaki was an MP for the first time when he was 30 years old? Being young and getting to the top meant that I had to work harder, I had to work long hours to get to where I am.
Democracy is about people electing people of their choice. So we are also working hard with various organizations to ensure that the youth know their rights, the youth participate in the elective processes. We are not really this time looking at youth as just voters and people who are going to throw stones. But now we are looking at youth as possible candidates in the next elections at all levels.
At the moment, about 40% of Kenyans are not employed, and majority of those are the youth. So in as much as majority of the youth feel that there will be no violence, there could be a proportion of the youth who may be unemployed that could be open to manipulation by the politicians, and they could be influenced to instigate violence. But those are the minority.
Leadership is about responsibility. It's about creating space through delegation. I would actually call upon youth in this country to join political parties because, number one, service leadership is learned through involvement in political parties, good governance, and democracy, among other issues.
Longevity sometimes breeds complacency. And to know that there are people who've been in leadership from the 70s and still are leaders today is disturbing, and especially when the country is underperforming. The task or the mission for young people in this generation has to be to take Kenya forward.
We're standing between a dreaded past and a hoped-for future in the present, and we must decide whether we want to be remembered or remorsed. This reminds me of our school motto, which was Unitate et Labore, which stands for unity and work. These are the words and the tools that we must use to face a future with pillars of hope and destiny and beyond. So let the poet speak to stir people into action. Let the singer sing to move people into action. Let the painter paint to capture people into action. Let the politician lead instead of choking us like weeds. Let the student read. Let the innovator innovate. Let the inventor invent. Because this is our prayer that we must meet with action. O God of all creation, bless this our land and nation. Plenty be found within our borders. We are the plenty, so we must be the blessings. We must choose to be blessings.
At the beginning, I kept telling myself when I saw images on TV that Hosni Mubarak has to go, then Ali has to go, and he left, and both of them left, I kept thinking that this is the way we need to go. Later, when I looked back, I realized that actually we did what they are doing now more than 10 years ago. In 1992, when we were agitating for multipartyism, it was the same time that women were at the Freedom Corner, fighting for the release of their sons. And out of pressure, without guns, without stones, without violence, Moi was able to relent. and he was able to release all the sons of these political, or mothers of political prisoners. So we must realize that Egypt is happening now. They have to catch up with us. We have a new constitution that is a model really for Africa and for the world, for people who want to go our way. We don't have to use violence, you know, to get to where we want to be. We've got internet, we've got gadgets of communications, modern communication. And we've seen in other countries, like in Egypt, where they have used modern information to make revolutions.
Technology plays a very key role. It's a powerful tool, and not only to, to be used as in the daily life, but it's an amplifier to so many things right now. And technology has really impact, for example, in a governance area, in terms of people are using social media to reach citizens in a very faster way. There's so many issues related to governance. There's no access to resources. What are the political leaders actually doing to use that resource of social media? One thing about iHub, it has really emphasized on women empowerment in the field of technology. So you not only see gentlemen sitting in the space, but a lot of women have come up and say, we want to learn more, we want to use the technology. We want to achieve the Vision 2030. We have to see this community as not only the tech community coming into place, but the government being the middle player into this whole community and, enhancing and extending their efforts to help the community sitting at the iHub space. Technology is dynamic and it keeps on changing. But again, if we all work together, then I think it will be the Vision 2030 we hope to achieve.
I actually looked in the market and realized that there is nobody in our country who actually manufactures pencils. I've always been a very environmentally conscious person. I thought of ways that what would happen if I came up with a green pencil. Basically, I did my research and actually discovered that I could actually use newspapers to make the pencil. We wanted to grow, and the only people who could actually give us the exposure was the youth fund.
Giving the money is just one component, but the other component is the culture to enterprise, being able to start and to run that business effectively, for you not just to repay the loan, but to make money, to create wealth for yourself and for others.
They invited us to so many of these exhibitions. Basically, there was one that was in Nakuru, and the last one that was in KICC. And after that, they actually sponsored us to go to Rwanda, and we got a lot of contacts over there.
An empowered youth should be a total sum of a person who has the right information at the right time and is empowered economically to take advantage of those opportunities, and is a youth that will be able to make decisions.
This country has not harnessed the power of sports, not only from the economic perspective, but also from the social perspective. We must learn how to use sports to unite or to reunite different communities in this country. It is our hope and dream and vision to be able to live in a society where there is law and order, where there is justice for all, and where every Kenyan, especially young Kenyan, has an opportunity to be able to pursue happiness and their full potential.
As a learning institution, is a key agent of democracy. Education is empowering and equalizing.
Groundbreakers ili start 2 years ago, and the aim was get back to school. Kuna wengine wana take like what's dance? It's like it's not a career or something, like it's nothing in a future, like wanasema in a future, but ever since wanaona ati sasa ulionyeshwa kwa sakata au kitu kama hiyo, wanaona haya kumbe dance can take you somewhere.
Hizi hairstyle watu wako wana get at point. Nyinyi ma dance watu wako wana like nyinyi mapombo. Sasa ndio wenye tunashaka sasa watu wako like ni wasakata. Sasa mkiona nasikia show poa nini tukaa hizo.
Don't let your background stop what you want to do. Like for instance, we're coming in Dandora. Dandora, tunajua, it has all sorts of those bad things. By the end of the day, tuna grow out of it. People are like, one or the other wanakuja kitu appreciate. So tutajitetea ti background yetu, because kutoka Dandora hatuwezi do anything. let that fall to be your stepping stone. Uli step on it na ukaenda pale mbele.
Look at gender issues, not so much about women or not so much about men, it's so much about equality for all.
Of late, you have seen that we have those who have taken charge and they are really reaping. But there are those who will sit back and wait, and they may wait forever.
The vision that I have for the youth in this country is that the youth will one day realize the importance of the new constitution.
The history of Kenya will judge us harshly, or will recommend us. It's our choice right now.
Today's young generation has to take a pause, understand that yes, they might be in the shadows of the older people, but they need to rise from their relative obscurity and define their mission, and they choose either to fulfill it or to betray it.
We have the power to change. The power is with us, and we must not be intimidated by the home guards and the home guard culture that is still in power, because we are the people.
You see, the youth, we are a very unique solution to a very unique problem that requires a very unique agency. And we must choose to be on the right side of the triple beam, or else we'll be left by all our hopes and our dreams. This is no time for petty politics, because we just don't need change. We need a better country. We need a better country, and it's up to you and me. It's up to you and me to make this more than a wish or a could be, but as sure as it should be. The youth, we must choose to be remembered. It's the right thing. It's the honorable thing.
Celebrate homage as we pay. Oh Lord, hear us now, God, as we pray. Oh God of all creation, bless things are